right, how do you do? We're talking about color in this particular lesson, and it's interesting. Things have really changed in really a short period of time. Meaning, I've been at this for over 20 years, and 20 years ago, or if you go back to around the year 2000, 2001, thereabouts, there were no all-color yearbooks out there. I mean, essentially, virtually none. And the reason for that is back then it was prohibitively expensive to do an all-color yearbook. It was really expensive. I know in my particular case, I had a school that I worked with in the 2000 school year. High school, they came to me and they said, we want to do an all-color book. Now, I was a bit of a newbie at that point, and so I did some pricing and I thought, oh my goodness, this is going to be insanely expensive. Even by today's dollars, insanely expensive. In our particular case, we decided to try it with this one particular high school because we realized that the future was going to be all-color books. And so the production plan and I and the school, we all kind of worked together and we created an all-color book for them. It turned out pretty well. And we fixed the price for them so they didn't go bankrupt. Now, these decades later, essentially everybody has an all-color book. There are very few, maybe none, black and white yearbooks out there anymore. They're just not there. You know, back in the old days, you only did a certain amount of pages in color, maybe what we call a signature, which is 16 pages of color, which for a high school book, that was probably the senior section. We would put the seniors in color. The rest of the book would be in black and white. Today, we don't have to worry about that because printing presses have gotten so much better. Computer networks have gotten so much better. Internet tools like Yearbook Avenue have gotten so much better, so much more efficient. In the old days, we used to have like the piece of paper going through the press. We would only print one side at a time. Then we'd put it aside, wait for it to dry, and then bring it back, turn it over, print on the other side. Well, think about that. That was hugely time-consuming. The terrific presses that we have used today by Jostens, we print on both sides at the same time, whoosh, done. So there's another reason why all color is now the standard. But then we talk about, well, how are you using your color? Now, hopefully you took the time to watch the Jostens J-class called Color, or the Power of Color. This one was done by my friend Tina Cleveland, who is one of our terrific Jostens CAMs, Creative Accounts Managers. Tina, a former award-winning advisor, longtime advisor. She's now been a longtime CAM for Jostens. She goes around teaching and so on. Hopefully you took the time to watch her video. If not, go back and look at it because I'm going to review a couple of things, but I can't begin to review all the great stuff that Tina had in her video. Really, really good stuff. And the idea here is when we put color in the yearbook, there should be a reason that we're doing that. There should be a plan. Right from the beginning, she shows real-world examples about the power of color. All right, McDonald's, whoop, the golden arches. Well, guess what? Whoop, that golden is a big part of McDonald's, right? Think about all the other favorite products you have and their logos and so on. There's a rhyme and a reason for the colors that they use. So when it comes to our yearbook, we should be following the same stuff. Where should we use colors? Well, think about it. Could be backgrounds. Now, maybe not a whole page. Maybe a background behind a particular module or part of a page. Of course, headlines, nice, big, bold type. Good place to possibly use color there. And then various kinds of graphics that you might use. You know, do some special, polls and surveys and pie charts and all that sort of stuff. There we want special color usage. But there should be a reason that we are choosing the colors that we are using. Now, Tina mentions in her video, what is the tone of your theme? And again, tone means sort of the color of your theme. Color meaning, is it bold? Is it more laid back? Is it hot? Is it maybe cool? Depending on whatever your theme is, the colors that you decide to use somehow match up with the particular theme that you're using this year. So you need to figure that sort of thing out in advance. She mentions color strategy, and she has 3 quick ways, which we'll mention very quickly. 1, just come up with a color palette of colors that you want to use with your book. She shows an example of one school. They had a color palette of 9 colors that they used on their particular pages. So that's one option. Maybe do color usage by section of your book. Tina showed an example of a chronological book, summer, fall, winter, spring. The summer section, sort of a summery color. Fall was kind of more of a brownish or an orangish, think fall. Winter, I don't know, think cold, think blue. And then spring, think maybe brighter colors like a yellow or a red or something like that. Match the colors depending on the section of your book. And one thing that some folks decide to do is they don't necessarily figure out colors in advance, but the colors they use on pages, they pull from the images they use on the pages. So if you have a dominant photo, one photo bigger than all the rest, and there's some color in there which just jumps out at you, maybe it's a shade of green, all right? Figure out that shade of green, use that shade of green elsewhere on that particular spread so that you have a matchup there. There is a rhyme and a reason for the colors that we use in our book. Let's mention this very quickly, school colors. Now, some folks are just every year locked into school colors. They think, oh, those are the only colors we're allowed to use, is our school colors. In a word, no, okay, no. But now Tina showed an example of one high school where they had sort of a school spirit theme. Okay, they're using school colors, perfect, that matches. But depending on whatever your theme and your cover looks like, you don't get locked in to only using school colors. We can only use blue and red. No, if that doesn't really match your theme and your cover look, those are going to clash. You don't have to be locked into only using school colors. Again, there should be a reason we're using the colors we use, and just because they're school colors is not necessarily a good reason. Tina mentioned using the Jostens color guide, always good to use. Please use that, always have that handy. The colors that you see printed inside the color guide is what we're going to print in your book. Don't go by your computer screen. Sometimes computer screens frankly lie to us. They're just set wrong. Don't go by the computer screen, go by the printed version. And the color wheel, hopefully you've seen that. The color wheel is a way to kind of match up colors that work well together. That's a very valuable thing to use. All right, let's do a quick student activity here. Guess what? Let's take a couple of minutes. Take a look at the colors that you are currently using in your book. First, are you using colors at all? Maybe you're not really doing anything at this particular point. But if you are you following a plan? Do you have a plan? If not, let's take a couple of minutes and start to put together a plan. All right, how are you going to use your color this year? Ready, set, go. All right, let's jump in real quick for a wrap up. We'll get back to your discussion, all right? We'll be real brief. Very simply, use colors for a reason. Don't just randomly throw them down. Don't automatically always get locked into school colors. Again, if they kind of clash with your current theme this year and your look, that doesn't work. What are colors that are going to work with your theme and your cover look that you can carry it throughout the book? Nice, consistent usage to help you improve the quality of your book and pull all the sections of the book together. There's a rhyme and a reason for the colors that you use this year. Let's see what you do, all right? Thanks for watching.